Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan. How's it going? I'm gonna play a little bit of Batman Forever, the arcade game, on the Sega Saturn. I finally got some Sega Saturn emulation going. This is a thing I've wanted to do forever, and this is a game I've wanted to play forever. And the other day, I played the first level and a half of this, and I thought it'd be really fun to do this on stream and see how far we get. I can't tell, but I think this is a game that maybe just lets you keep putting virtual quarters in, essentially. And so I don't know if we even can lose on this. We might get to just see the whole game. I guess we'll find out. This game was ported in, I think, 97. I didn't look up anything ahead of this. This was kind of on a whim kind of choice. And let me say real quick that, once again, I am emulating, so this is going to be slightly glitchy in places, I imagine, but for the most part, it seems to be working out okay. It seems like sometimes the beginning of levels, when you first get in, get a little funky. I got to get past the demo here. Oh, I didn't get to look at options or anything. Well, we'll just get started here and see how it goes. So you can be Batman or Robin. We're going to be Batman. And I'm sad and lonely tonight all by myself, like Harley Quinn in The Suicide Squad. I'm sad and lonely. No, I'm kidding. And so I'm playing all by myself. And yeah, this is not the notorious Batman Forever game. If we were playing that, we wouldn't see past the first screen, probably. And for the longest time, I didn't know this game even existed. This was an arcade game that I first learned about when I reviewed Steel, that movie, a couple of years ago. Somehow I didn't even hear about this, back in the day when it came out, anything. And I got nothing going on here, and I'm not sure why. Hold on. Oh, because I don't have my window selected. Hang on. There we go. Now I'm in. Okay, cool. We're off to a fantastic start here. But yeah, so this is a real verbose, bombastic kind of arcade game. It's got pre-rendered graphics. It looks like that look kind of similar, actually, to that terrible, terrible game on the Super Nintendo and Genesis. I don't want to say it has that same Mortal Kombat feel, because it doesn't, behave like Mortal Kombat. It's not that engine. You're not doing those sorts of moves, but it does graphically look like the characters are rendered in a somewhat similar way. And this game gets really silly, so it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a standard beat-em-up, but a really wild, crazy one. Apologies if this is seizure-inducing. Apparently, that guy's evil. Or did evil make me tiny? So this is the big thing I'm talking about when I say this game is really silly. For some reason, like Mario, if I get hit too much, I get tiny. So look, I'm super tiny Batman. Fighting all these thugs that are 3 times my size. And now I'm normal size again, and I didn't even eat a mushroom or anything. Hi, Robert. Hi, Real Warzog. Hi, Thomas Loeb. Good to see you guys. So, I got kicks, and I got all these insane power-ups everywhere. And as soon as you get one, I don't even think you can really choose between them. I think that's why they're everywhere, is that if you grab one, just now you're doing whatever that power-up is, and if you don't want to do that anymore, you gotta grab a different power-up. So, you've got batarangs. You can just shoot 1,000,000 at a time. Oh, look out for the wrecking ball. Look out for the wrecking ball. We don't get tiny again. I guess oh my god, look, I just lost half my health bar all at once somehow. You got the bat bola, and you've got a grappling hook. That was rough. This is very much a button masher. Now I'm powering up. You could hear Batman say, "Power up!" It sounded great, too. But yeah, somehow... So I had a Saturn right around when this came out, and somehow I did not hear about this until just a couple of years ago. It's crazy. And I never even saw one in an arcade. It was all over that Steel movie, though, which broke my brain when I reviewed it. because you'd think Steel being a DC thing, he'd be in the same universe as Batman. Or at the very least, you wouldn't have references to other DC things in his universe. So, yeah, you can put in your high score. I'm just gonna... Let's see. I'm not gonna bother with my initials or anything. But then you just press start to continue. I don't know how many continues you get, or if you could just do that ad infinitum. I guess we'll find out. Hayden Spring, the only Sega console I own is a Genesis, and mine doesn't work anymore. Sorry to hear that. Old Genesis systems are, like with everything with retro games, more expensive than they used to be, but you can still get a working one and a real good-looking one for about $100 most of the time. A little steeper than it used to be, but see, he's flying all over the place. And he's like Pac-Man. He's just going from the right and then back to the left again. Hayden, I did see Guardians 3. I actually just got home from that about half an hour ago. And I was debating about whether I was just gonna go to bed or stream for a little bit. And I was supposed to do a video with Austin tonight, and he wasn't able to make it. We were gonna do a discussion topic. Hopefully we'll do that soon. I want to do a video talking about the future of AI in movies and television. But I didn't want to do it by myself. I was really kind of looking forward to talking to Austin about that. So I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to stream. I even sent him a message like, I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was doing this Saturn emulation. This would be a nice, fun, laid-back thing that wouldn't take any preparation. Damn it, what are you doing? You're not even hitting anybody. What's happening? What is the point of that? And see, now I'm huge and they're all tiny. We are not concerned about realism whatsoever here. But I wanted to play through and see what happens when you finally get to the Two-Face and Riddler and any of that stuff. It's capturing the spirit of the neon and stuff of that movie, I guess. Look at the laser light show going on in the background there. What is happening? We're going to say that a lot, I think. It's interesting that this is a claim because it's got a very Sega feel to me. I just like the energy of it. I love beat-em-ups where you throw guys into the screen. Like, they're taking a few cues from Ninja Turtles and games like that. Well, see if I can even get to the health there. There are a lot of guys on the screen at once here. This would be much easier with a second player, which is, you know, usually true with a beat 'em up. Oh, game over again. Look at that. Is that like a full-on game over? It looks like maybe it is. We'll try again. We'll actually... Oh, I failed. That is unfortunate. Gotham City has fallen under the evil grasp of the Riddler and Two-Face. Oh no, the box will be on every TV set in the world. See, they're paying attention to the plot points. This is a nice cutscene. That looks cool. I'm kind of half glad I lost so we could see this. Boy, that image is just born in my brain from when I was a kid with the Riddler symbol over the bat symbol in the sky. I almost got a tattoo of that. I do not want to save my high scores because I didn't do so well. Let's go into options and see if we can up our count of lives and see if we can get a little bit farther. That company made at least 2 or 3 Saturn games I own. I don't know what's going on here. This looks just broken to me. I don't know what the deal is with the static board at the bottom. I'm already on easy. Let's get it up to 7 continues. And we'll just try to play a little better. I thought the same thing, Robert. Yeah, he says, funny that they're using the animated series for the text. Yeah, that's right. And that text shows up in all the animated series games. So I wonder if that's just something that was lying around. But I don't know if Acclaim dealt with any of that. The belt looks a little different, I think, from what it is in the movie. I might be off on that, but I don't remember the yellow bat symbol popping out like that. Robert is the second player. Have you play as Robin? Yeah, and I assume if you pick Robin as the first player, then the second player just plays as Batman. Yeah, Hayden, it's crazy to think that Wii counts as retro these days. Okay, I'm going to focus a little more. I'm going to try to get a real good sense of what I can do here. And again, just keep in mind, I barely played this. So we are discovering this together. So now I got my grappling hook. I took all three of those guys. That's good. I got my clear screen attack that you use with the same button as your power-ups. So if you use that just wherever you are, like whatever you have, you're going to use it right away. And you really just have, it seems like 2 attack buttons. You've got your power-up button, just whatever you have right now, your weapon. And then you have a kick button. Look, Robert, with these sprites, well, I said pre-rendered, so I have pre-rendered sprites, but even still, it's probably difficult to get clear nipples on your Batsuit, especially when you're tiny Batman. What is happening? It's not Mario Kart, folks. Look at all this damage I'm doing. Look, I'm gonna get my clear screen tiny. Do I grow just automatically? I wonder if that's what happened, or if I just happened to, run out of tiny time. Hayden, I never owned a Wii U. My parents wouldn't buy me one, and every game you needed, one was ported to Switch eventually. Yeah, Wii U became very skippable once the Wii came out, because most of the best games on that system were ported. I still have mine, but it gets no use because the gamepad doesn't take a charge, and I've been thinking about trying to replace it, but I kind of want to look into getting it repaired because the gamepad is expensive and it's more than half the cost of the system itself. I mean, it's basically like replacing half the system, which was just a massive design flaw if you ask me. You should have been able to buy those separately more easily. I'm not playing very well here. Jeez! I don't know how I'm losing so much. Here, we'll try to put in my name here for no reason. But I don't know why I'm losing so much life at once in my health bar there. Well, we got 6 continues, so maybe we'll at least see more of the second level. Clear that screen. The insanity of this is fun. It is not anything like the tightest and easiest, most intuitive to play kind of beat 'em up. I mean, it feels very button mashy. You know, it's no Streets of Rage or anything. But it's also the kind of game that I don't think ports the best, if that makes any sense. Like, it's a little cheap in being a token sucker. Hayden, it's Tiny Adam West. Back to Torture Cap once again. I wish I'd thought of that. I should have made that reference.
Double damage.
See, I don't know what the mystery Question mark does. Is that what's making everybody tiny? Maybe it is. No, Robert, a lot of people have love for the Wii, certainly. I mean, it's one of those mixed bags that's kind of frustrating because there's a lot of wonderful games on it, but it got really gimmicky with the motion controls, so there's a lot of stuff that required you to do motion stuff that shouldn't have, or should have given you an option not to have it, and we didn't always have that, or it wasn't always obvious how to do it. You know, how to move to just a classic controller or something. But there were a lot of things that did well, and it was wonderful for light gun games, of course, and even some of the just straight up motion control games were really innovative and cool. And I know there's a lot of people that have kind of rediscovered the Wii, that maybe even lost interest in it while it was new, or while it was still current, that, you know, 10 or 15 years later found themselves using it more than while it was new. God. Yeah, this game is pretty cheap. I mean, not to get now, because it's a Saturn game. I haven't looked into this, but this, I bet this is a $100 game or more, because a lot of Saturn is. I wish I could pick up the Pepsi machine. See, I kind of didn't want that health yet, because I was at full health, but then it disappeared very quickly. Oh, Hayden, it's super flattering that you quote Spawn. The why. Yeah, I know exactly the line of reading you're talking about. Ah, look at that. Look at my flaming batarangs. Flaming batarangs! I saw something the other day that was flaming Cheetos flavored, and it sounded disgusting. I can't remember what it was, but I picked up a thing, and I was like, ooh, maybe I'll get this, and then it was flaming Cheetos flavored. I forget what that was. I was like, that's disgusting. Hayden Spring, internally it's just a GameCube with a motion detector. That's true. Graphically, absolutely. Which is why it was backwards compatible. Robert, the Wii is often referred to as the console that everyone got and stopped using after a month, and that just wasn't my experience with it. Yeah, I mean, some people that did that remember it that way, but like I said, there are a lot of people that went back to it later on, yeah, especially collectors that started reevaluating it and then collecting for it. Jareth, hey Cap, how do you play these games on your computer? I want to, but I have no idea how. Just look into emulators. This one, what is this emulator called? Doesn't, I'm just not remembering right off, and it doesn't say on it. But I will find it for you. Hold on. So yeah, this is the EmuHawk, and it emulates Saturn and a number of other consoles as well. And all you have to do is download the emulator and ROMs for it. Sometimes you'll need a little bit of extra software that, or I should say, like plugins that you just download independently and then put in the folder along with it, and it's fine. But you see how we slow down real hard at the beginning of levels, and then it's fine right after that. Saturn is notoriously difficult to emulate. It's worse than 64. And so this is... The glitchy stuff that you're hearing and seeing here would not have been like that, of course, on the disc. It's worse right now all of a sudden, though, than it was before. Hopefully it doesn't get worse and worse as you get into the game. Well, it's not going to matter for me, because I'm not going to get very far, it doesn't look like. I don't feel like I have a lot of control on this, honestly. I'm trying. and then now I can't tell if I was like standing on top of boxes or just in midair. That was really strange. So these power-ups are not the most helpful things. I got my flaming batarangs again. But yeah, plugins and drivers, occasionally you'll need something extra. But like this emulator had that, but it told me right away what to download. It wasn't difficult. Okay, I'm back. A Batman story. Hayden and I have never played through a Pokemon game. You probably don't want to see that. That would probably be really boring. Be me just kind of wandering around trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. Oh my goodness. Jareth, just be really leery about emulators, because if you're not careful, you could wind up with stuff that puts spyware and viruses on your computer. So just as with anything, just watch what you're downloading and what download buttons you're pushing. Make sure you're actually downloading what you think you're downloading. Crap! So, this game doesn't have a hit detection problem exactly, but I don't like that I get stalled out whenever I get hit. Like, you just kind of stop in one place, and then that's where the cheapness comes in, because then guys can just kind of keep hitting you while you're standing there. I don't love that. Jareth, I want to play the Punisher without paying $200. Well, yes, exactly. Apparently I'm DCP now, because I kept button mashing. This music is also starting to get on my nerves. You know, I said the good Batman Forever game. Compared to the console game, the 16-bit console game that has nothing to do with this at all, it absolutely is. Compared to some other arcade beat-em-ups, it's pretty middle of the road. Like, it's hilarious and it's fun to look at. But I don't know. It's a little redundant. It's a little tedious. Where did this guy come from? This like crazy tie-dye shirt. Yeah, Shredder's Revenge is great. Austin and I did a playthrough of that on the channel. I wonder if this has driving sections. Because they make a big deal out of the Batmobile at the beginning. It would be kind of unfortunate if it doesn't have driving stages. And I like some variety in my beat-em-ups, so it's nice to have an occasional vehicle section or flying section. I just mean in general. Ooh, I got the bat signal bonus. Look at that. Let's do that. I don't know what that does, but let's do it. Jareth, video game prices have become depressing. Yep, that's true. People keep talking about some kind of a glass ceiling. We've not seen that yet. There's some kind of implosion, in the market. Now I'm on a roof. Or I think. Who puts gum on a roof? Well, we're seeing a little bit more of this game. I'm not going to start over again. So we'll see how far we can get with the couple of lives I have left. And then this will be a quick one tonight, folks. But we're just kind of sampling the craziness that is Batman Forever, the arcade game. But yeah, it was weird how much it was showcased in the old Steel movie with Shaq. Because there's a silly plot with an evil tycoon who owns arcades. It's kind of like a front company. And there's a scene with like 15 Batman Forever machines in the background. There's just a ton of them. So it says helicopter at the bottom. I don't know what that's about. Maybe the Joker is waiting for his ride that'll be here in 10 minutes. Better make it 10. Oh, I gotta fire. I gotta shoot batarangs at that thing. It's a good thing I got the right power up, yeah? A super batarang, I think it said. I'm still DCP, I guess. Okay, we'll just be DCP. I don't know what it stands for. Darn Cap playing. I guess those are Riddler henchmen because they're wearing a lot of green. Yeah, this being an arcade game, usually you wouldn't have a playthrough much longer than 20 or 30 minutes if you kept throwing quarters in, you played the whole thing. So, Hayden says, if he's talking about this, he says probably at the 2/3 mark. I don't know if he's actually referring to this game, but it's probably more like half. I mean, we played, this would be what, like the 4th level? Probably doesn't have more than 7 or 8. I like the sense of distance. You get smaller as you go into the back. That's kind of unusual for a game like this. I'm trying to blow up this darn helicopter. I don't think that screen clear actually does anything in a helicopter, probably. Batman is definitely causing even more damage than he does in the Burton films, which is incredible. Wait, there's so many explosions here. Very destructive Batman. I like how I grappled out of there. I'm not sure if that was for dramatic effect or if that was the power-up that I had and I just happened to do it as the level was ending. I'm not sure. Oh, Jedi Survivor. Okay, okay. Sorry, I'm glancing over as I'm playing and I don't always get to read the whole thread. My apologies. Yeah, I know that just came out and people have been talking about it. VR, let's do that. Well, we're seeing more of this than I thought maybe we would. At least the music is mixed up a little bit. Wow, look at all the characters in the background. That's ambitious. Wow, are we already this far into the movie where we're at the Riddler's party? We didn't even see... Well, I was going to say we didn't even see Dick Grayson's parents get killed, but I guess ostensibly we're fighting with Penguin through the... Or Penguin, sorry, with... What am I talking about? With Robin through this whole thing. Because he would be your other player. Like Two-Face just there at the front. It's nice that we actually get to see something from the movie here. I wish this level opened with, Batman! I don't know how many continues I've got left. Oh, I accidentally picked Robin. Well, that's cool. We get to see how he moves. I'm glad I did that, actually. Already, it feels like maybe the thing to do is just play as Robin, because he moves quicker. He's more acrobatic, which is on brand, certainly. I'm liking how he moves. I'm beginning to wish this was just Robin the video game, I think. Wow, look at that. Ooh, that was cool. Brought down a chandelier. This is immediately more fun as Robin, which is kind of shocking. Batman's all stiff, and I mean, it's accurate. Like, it feels like you can't move your neck. Wow. I wish I was playing this with somebody that had played it before, because I'm sure that person would be like, yeah, just be Robin if you're playing one play, especially if you're playing by yourself. No, Batman feels like the sidekick in this game. Like with Robin, when I'm grappling, I've actually got a little bit of control going around the screen, Like, I'm latched onto the ceiling, and then I'm just kind of floating around hitting stuff. That's fun. Oh, and there's the Riddler. There's our Jim Carrey. Are we going to fight them both? Oh, no, they're just waving at us while we fight one of their henchmen. Those first few levels were too generic compared to this. Like, you know, some nice atmosphere on the roof and all that, but the first couple levels especially were kind of obvious and just there. Although, again, I like all the neon. There was definitely some Schumacher here. Oh, those guys were just bent over. Like, no, really. Just beat us up. Kick our ass. Robert Cat flew down like a robin. Like a robin. Hayden, I usually like speed over power in games. Well, especially a beat-em-up like this, because it's nice to have a little bit of agility. You know, like, Batman couldn't hardly dodge it. God, but you lose so much life because it's hoping you'll put more quarters in. But, you know, I'm playing the console version, so I always appreciate it when that kind of thing gets tweaked a little bit for a console version, and sometimes it's just a direct port. And there's an argument to be made for either, but, you know, when we were kids, at least people my age, I think a lot of us wanted exactly the arcade game of whatever it was. You always talk about, you always hear people say arcade perfect. You know, you want to get as close to arcade perfect as possible. But then the purpose and the goal is a little bit different, because in an arcade you want to play, you know, long enough to have a good time, but short enough that you've got time to play other stuff in the arcade very often. FFQA, sure, that's our name now. I mean, some people would go to an arcade and just play the one game forever, but for, you know, your average kid and family, it was more about sampling everything. And you don't really want to do that at home, especially with a game that you buy, you know, versus rent. Like, if you paid $40 or $50 for this, you'd want to spend some time with it.
Super knockout bonus.
And games that were developed specifically for console, talking specifically beat-em-ups, made for console in the first place as opposed to for the arcade, it typically understood that the purpose was different. Let's see what CV does. I haven't really figured out what any of these icons are. Yeah, AMC, I'm just full of surprises. We're getting to see a lot more of this than I thought we would. Once I realized that you actually could get a straight-up game over. You know, I'm not going to start this over when I lose, but there's a part of me that wants to, because now that I'm Robin, this is like 5 times more fun. Or at least twice as fun. Good or evil. I'm like, I don't know if I even want to grab that. I like the yin-yang, though, because that's super 90s, and Two-Face is all about that. Oh, wow. That was some massive, awful slowdown there. Whoa! He is spazzing out! Robin is freaking out. Two-Face, that looks lewd, man. Sorry to say it. Thomas Slow, I think I'm going to start getting away from the Cap Can't Play thing. Because, you know, you just never know. Sometimes I'll do okay. I'm probably self-deprecating enough even without the title. There's just always exploding barrels left on streets and beat-em-ups. It's a dangerous world, the world of beat-em-ups. Speaking of the Punisher beat-em-up, which is one of the best in the genre I ever played, by the way, and I've got it. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt myself. This is weird that we've got kind of mini-bosses all of a sudden, because you would expect to have had more of this kind of thing earlier if you were going to have it at all. Like, now I'm fighting Feather and Steve-O. Have we had any of this yet, where you have named thugs that take a little longer to beat? Like, you get one of these at the end of the first level, and I think several levels in Maximum Carnage. Where has this been, right? But anyway, I was talking about something. Oh, his clear screen looks really cool too. Yeah, this should just be Robin the game. Oh, I was talking about Punisher. I have the arcade 1-up machine for the Marvel Superheroes fighting game, and it has the X-Men fighter, and it also has the arcade version of the Punisher game, and it's wonderful. I'm really glad it came with that because I'd never played it before. And Vince and I have actually been talking about getting together and doing a playthrough on that. So hopefully that'll happen at some point. We were talking about that a few weeks ago, and we haven't gotten around to it, but with or without Vince, I'll do a stream of that at some point. That is very playable. Beat 'em up. I like how it looks like you can select one before you even know what they all are. It'd be really funny if you understood what these did, then you picked one and you're like, oh crap, I got that. Like, let's do the bat signal one. It comes at the end, so I'm gonna assume it's... Oh, wait, see, there's more. Oh, okay. No, you can't actually select them. Let's see what good versus evil does. So you can move the cursor around, but you can't actually select it until they all show up. I see. That's obviously low. Henchman's name is Feather. Yeah, see, it's ironic, you know, because he falls hard. I'm gonna assume is the idea. We have a little more variety in our music here. But again, it's all about purpose and priority. There's a lot of, don't get me wrong, there's great music in some arcade games. In some 90s arcade cabinets. But you didn't always have to prioritize it as much as other things, because in an arcade, you're gonna have the sounds of, 12, 15, 20 other systems. It's going to be loud. You're going to have music playing. So you can get away with a lot in the audio department. But that's not to say that nobody ever tried, because a couple of my favorite soundtracks are from arcades. Like Killer Instinct. So yeah, if you thought I was just playing real crappy earlier with Batman... No, it's Batman versus Robin, man. In this case, Robin wins. Wow, although I jumped right into that. Two-Face, quit doing that. It's weird. I don't know what you're doing. I want to say that the voiceover stuff in this is ambitious, but it's not really. Not by 97. There was a lot more of that going on, and there were certainly games where it sounded better than this. Okay, that's it. That's as far as we get. Read a book. Okay. Well, it is. It's fun enough. I'm glad to get to play it. I wish I'd known about it at the time, but I would have just rented it, or I would have wanted to just rent it. Your friends are dead. Your pets are dead. No. I wouldn't have wanted to pay full price for this when it came out. I think that would have been somewhat disappointing. I don't know how much I would have actually played this, but it would have been fun to get it and play it over a weekend. Especially because I never saw a machine, so it would have been the only way to get to play it, probably. Thomas, look, can you imagine a Batman movie or TV series where they get powers from Bat's other characters? I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, but something where you get all of those power-ups just lying around. That would be very weird. Okay, so this is going to be a real short stream tonight, but I just wanted to pop on and sample this with you guys, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and get going. I've got some painting to do for the Power Rangers board game and stuff. I'm going to be playing that game with the creator, Jonathan Ying, next Wednesday night now. The day has changed. It was going to be Tuesday, now it's a Wednesday, and I've got some things I got to paint before that. And so I'm prepping for that. And we'll have Captain Logan show next Thursday night. I'm moving to a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday schedule, but I will occasionally do impromptu things like this as well, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a bunch for watching. I'm going to go ahead and get going now. I'm Captain Logan, and you guys are great. Really appreciate it. Bye, folks.